Okay, I'm going to have a go at drawing the Top Gun logo with a ruler. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it 24 wide. So I'm going to measure up 24, that's 24 centimeters wide. And the ratio is roughly 6 to 1. So 6 into that goes 4. So I'm going to put maybe just a fraction bigger than 4 centimeters. 40, let's go 42. Okay, and I'm going to rule another line along the bottom here. And then halfway is going to be 12. So we're using a bit of maths today, a bit of art and maths in this picture of the Top Gun logo. Classic movie. Can't wait to see Top Gun Maverick. Now there is 5 stripes, so 5 stripes have to fit into here, so we've got to do a bit of maths there. So 42, we need a bit of a gap between each one, so roughly 8. So if we did 7 mils, couple of mil gap, 7 mils. I'm going to use a mechanical pencil, a couple of mils, 7 mils, couple of mils. You can measure it on both sides, but I'm just going to start to draw these little lines horizontal, and because I've had lots of practice with ruling, I should get that looking pretty good. Now if we make these too fat, then it's going to look out of proportion. And we want it to look exactly like the logo. So now this star, I'm going to draw a line coming out on an angle like so. And we match it on the other side of that because it's symmetrical. And then because the star comes down underneath there, we'll leave about a 2 mil gap. Come out on either side the same distance and then join them through. So that'll go through there, and this line should go through there and hit that one. So I'm going to finish that off with the star. The reason I like a mechanical pencil because you get some nice clean lines. So this now is the bottom of the logo, this strip here, and the letters go between here and here. So the letter has to go from there into there. So this comes back on an angle like so 4 centimeters if I rule, or probably 3 actually. I reckon that's probably about the angle that it comes back on. Yep, 3 like that. Yep. So if I rule 3 in from here, this rule has seen better days. Got a few little chinks and stuff in it, but still doing the job. That's the angle, so you can see that I measured 3 centimeters in from there, 3 in from there. Now it's time to put the letters on, and the letters are going to be probably going to try and, I've got to fit 3 letters, and the letters take up from, we'll have a little bit of a gap here, so I'm just going to put a bit of a gap there, same distance on either side. So spacing wise, that's a bigger space than what it is between the letters. So if I wanted to make these letters look good, I've got about 6 centimeters to play with. So each letter has to be just under 2 centimeters. So 1.8 centimeters. So I'm just going to draw 3 boxes there. So, and the beauty about this is that all the letters are the same width. That's why I'm rolling up boxes. So you can see that I measured 2 centimeters. So 2 centimeters, or 18. So 2 centimeters, but with a gap. So from here it's 2 centimeters with an 18. And then 18 there, which is 18 millimeters. And if we roll these lines straight down, And then we just finish that bit there off, and then before we do the letter T, let's start with the O. So we basically just curve off, angle these corners like so, and then this is just a straight line. I reckon 1/2 centimetre thick letters looks pretty good. The P is 1/2 centimetre, and I'm going to come up to, that's the P, and then across. So keep them the same sort of angle as that line there, and it's a square in the middle. So there, I'm going to keep it like that to try and keep that looking good. The G, because now we've got the boxes, it makes it so much easier that we can just put the angles. So that comes down to there, straight across, straight up, cross like this, and then that goes up to the top line, comes up, and then comes down to form the G. There's the G. Then the U basically comes down to this bottom line and up, and then we just got to put the two angles, keep that and that the same, and as well as that, well as all these angles that they go on are like a 45. So the N now, basically just draw that and that, and then what we do is we go from this corner to that corner, and from that corner to that corner. There we have the N comes across, and it's on that angle. So there's gun, top, and now we've just got to do the T. So the T, measure in the middle. You could measure that if you wanted to. And I'm just going to bring this across to here. And there we have top, gun. Time to go over that with an outliner. And I'm going to use a 0.3 on this. Now it's time to draw the Top Gun Maverick logo. We're going to start by tracing off the original Top Gun logo that we drew. If you didn't draw it, go back to the start and watch that video. I'm tracing using a light table. You might like to trace using a window where you put your piece of paper over your existing drawing and trace it off. Now the Top Gun Maverick logo is slightly different, but not too much. Most of it's the same. As we have this part coming back the other way, so we're just going to change that a little bit. The Top Gun's the same, but the word Maverick starts in here and goes to about the end of the N. So that's going to be pretty tricky, and it's probably a bit smaller. So we've got this at 3.5 centimeters high. So I reckon I'm going to try and fit Maverick in 2 centimeters high. So I'm going to rule a box. The M starts here. And this is the K. Now halfway we have the inline with the, here is where the R starts. So I'm just going to pop the R, the C and the K are the same thickness, and we're going to try and fit them into 4.5 centimeters here. So it's going to be quite tricky. So each letter is, if I do, and then the I, if I did 12, it's 24. Yeah. So we're going to put the I in here, the C in there, and the K there, and the R in there. That's going to say Rick. And then if we're doing them the same, let's go with a little bit of couple of mil gaps with the 12 mil letter there. That's going to be the E. Now the V is going to be 12, but we're going to have an issue here because the A and the V, so the V is going to sit here, but the A is going to come in. The V is going to sit in here like so, but the A has to fit in there as well. So if I've done the V, the A comes across here, and we've got 12 mil, that's perfect. Because what we can do is then the M is the widest letter, which will fit in there and look pretty good. So the M's the widest, the I's the thinnest, and the A and the V sort of slot in together. So let's start with the M, and I'm freehand drawing this to keep the letters thickness the same. So these letters are going to be thinner than those. The A is quite tricky because we have top part, so the top part will be the same width as these bottom bits. There's the A. The V needs to be as the same, trying to keep your letters the same thickness. Then we've got the E. Now if you prefer to use a ruler, that's your choice. I'm doing it freehand to show you, but I have used a ruler to help with the measurements. Then the R, it's actually one of those just like this, these angles, so we're just going to create that like so, and then if we zoom in on that, that'd be a little square just like here inside there. The I is quite thin. The C is, we're going to do like this, comes up, and that would be similar to the G. And then we've got the K. K is kind of tricky because we've got this top part coming up, and then the bottom part coming down like that. So there's the word Maverick, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, so there's the Maverick part there, and that comes out to the, and then we have another line under here. We've got another 2 actually, but they're quite small, so they're a thinner line. And then we have a slight gap, and then another thinner line, and in between that we have the star. So the star is going to sit directly under the E, which is in the middle, and it's going to come in like so. And there's the star in there. Use these other guidelines to help you, and then this is the width of that there, and the same with that. It comes a little bit, and then this is wider, this one here, so it comes out to, oh, that comes out to the end of the A, so I've made that a bit too wide, and that comes out to the C. There we go. So it's all about comparing and looking and getting your proportions looking good first. Is that the same width, same length? Let's measure that. That's about 2. That needs to come in a little bit. It's about 1. Yeah. Try and keep those measurements looking good. And the star is inside there, so I'm going to use a smaller pen when I draw this.